When we find pleasure in materialism, then our pleasures will end in pain. Does that mean that we can't be successful or we can't achieve? No, it doesn't mean that. Of course, we need to pay our bills. Of course, we need to take care of our family. Of course, we need to, maintain our lifestyle. But while maintaining our lifestyle, we shouldn't think that that is the goal in life. Just to be comfortable, just to have the house, just to have the car, just to have the family, just to have the clothes, the brand, the purse, the bag, the wallet, the watch, just to have that cruise, the yacht. And we keep thinking that this is what's going to make us happy. There are thousands upon tens of thousands of examples, past and present, that does not make us happy. How many times does this need to be said? Materialism doesn't bring happiness. Materialism supports in our pursuit of happiness, but it itself is not happiness. Materialism and having all materialistic needs fulfilled does not make us happy. Materialistic needs fulfilled is a tool to achieve happiness. Then from there, we can go on to spiritual practices. We can read deeper. We can investigate into ourselves. We can find ourselves. Materialistic goals fulfilled is an aid to happiness, but not happiness. So we shouldn't work towards that and think about that alone. So when we find pleasure in materialism means that's all we live for, then our pleasure will end in pain. Why will it end in pain? Because the people will be attracted to you because you are wealthy, or you are beautiful, or you are perfect, or you are rich, or you have that yacht, or you have the branded items. The people who will be attracted to you and gravitate towards you are not gravitating for you. And eventually, you will realize that if you have not already. And that's where the loneliness and the happiness and pain sets in, and bitterness, because they're not there for you. And if you are attracting people through this and just this, talking about it on social media, Facebook and tweets, and telling people where you go, you go to the gym, you go on trips, you bought this branded item, you got this new car, you got all that. Who do you think you'll attract? Who do you think you will nurture? Who do you think will be gravitating towards you? People who have like minds, but they're not there for you. So therefore, when we find pleasure in materialism, then our pleasure will end in pain. That means whatever so-called pleasure that we derive temporarily will end in pain, because if for any reason we don't have those things anymore, then we don't have anything inside to attract. Nothing in us is there to attract. So if we have the wealth, that's wonderful, but we shouldn't stop there. We have to develop the insight. Next one, when we find truth in pain, then we realize it was in our mind. What does that mean when we find truth in pain? Truth in pain means the reality of the world, the reality of our bodies, the reality of existence, the reality of everything that exists is decay. Our bodies will age. Our health will become unhealthy. Our bodies will die. A clean room becomes dirty. Delicious food becomes rotten and smelly. A pretty boy becomes an old man. A pretty lady becomes an old woman. Flawless skin becomes full of flaws. The dry, sunny, beautiful day becomes a rainy, cloudy day that snows, that rains. Everything will decay. And when it decays and it makes us unhappy or makes us suffer, then we're not realizing the true nature of how things exist. And the true nature of how things exist is that everything will decay, and everything will be taken away, and everything will end. All our friends will be gone. All of our loved ones will be gone. All of what we are attached to will be gone. When those are gone, that is truth. The pain that we feel is the truth. And the very reason we feel the pain is because we are going in the wrong direction with the items that we are attached to. So in the very things that we thought that brought us happiness actually brings us pain. And so there's truth in pain. What's the truth? That everything will bring pain. If we understand that truth, then what happens? We realize that pain was in our mind. That our projections was what made us think our bodies will last forever. Our beauty will last forever. Our wealth is the ultimate epitome of happiness. That our friends are going to be around forever. And that all food is perfect. And our living environment will remain as it is. One of the reasons ghosts remain on, if you believe in those, is that they want things to remain the way they have perceived it to remain or projected it to remain. And therefore, even when they die, they remain in that place, reliving over and over their own projections. And some of us are living ghosts because we don't live our lives. We don't look at the truth and we don't look at what's around us, but we live in a projected world thinking that it is perfect and protecting that imperfect perfection or that false perfection. So therefore, when we find truth in the pain, which is that everything will decay, then we realize it was in our mind. Why was the pain in our mind? Because we expected everything to be perfect, because it's not. It's opposite of the truth. It's opposite of what really exists. Therefore, our pain will end at that moment when we realize this. We are insecure because of our past. Make amends and we can be secure because of the present. Many things we've done in the past, we're insecure. Many things we should have done in the past, we have not done. Because of the many things we have not done, as time rolls on, as time goes on, all the things that we should have done will catch up with us. Let's say that we were supposed to write an assignment or practice our writing, and we haven't done that. When we don't do that, when the time comes, we have to write something and everybody can write it and produce it, and we're the only one that cannot, we're kind of stuck. We look bad, we're embarrassed, and we got to catch up. Let's say that we're a forgetful person and we leave the lights on, we leave the gas stove on, we leave the doors unlocked, and we keep doing this, and we rely on people to lock the door for us and shut off the gas and shut off the electricity for us. Well, one day we're going to be living with a group of people who are already older, and they're not going to accept this. They wouldn't want to live with us. They don't want to tolerate and put up with this, and we'll end up alone. So my point is that whatever we have been insecure about in the past, we have to make amends now by catching up now, improving ourselves now, and becoming better now. When we improve ourselves now and catch up now, then we can be secure about our present. That means we don't have to be scared anymore. And we can be secure about our future. Okay? So our past always catches up what we have done and what we should have done and we did not. That's the meaning of that phrase. So don't let it catch up. Or when it catches up, make amends. Then you'll be secure about your present. Next one. When we enjoy nothing made into something, then something that is worthy becomes nothing. When we enjoy nothing made into something means when we make a big deal about food, we make a big deal about a party, we make a big deal about makeup, we make a big deal about a dress, a suit, a car, we make a big deal about a girlfriend, we make a big deal about our jewelry, traveling, we make a big deal about new friends. When we make a big deal about this, it's actually nothing. We'll find new jewelry. We change girlfriends. Our body will age. We will get fat. We'll find different foods. We'll find a better place to hang out in. So whenever those are all nothing. Food, places, travel, fun, money, social friends, they're really nothing. Nothing doesn't mean that they're nothing. It means that they have no ultimate long-term meaning. They probably won't even be around. So therefore, actually, it's nothing. And then we make it into something like, oh, wow, we went on the beach and we went on this trip and we went swimming, and we make it into a big fanfare where we're having a great time. And this is the reason we're alive. It's so intense. It's really changed my life. It's so fabulous. And everybody should do this. Actually, it's nothing. What's the big deal? You went to the beach, you went swimming. What's the big deal if you were Saint-Tropez, or you were in Maldives, or you were in, Bora Bora, or you were in Langkawi, or you were in California? And what's the difference? If you were on the beach and you were just laying there, you were just on the beach laying there getting a suntan. It's nothing more. But when we make such a big deal about it, we make nothing become something. When nothing becomes something, it means that we really don't have nothing. That's why we have to pretend it is something. Then something that is worthy becomes nothing. Then something that is worthy, for example, being loyal to friends, our spiritual practice, the instructions that we receive from our teacher, our Dharma practice, our mind training practices, our training of the 8 verses of thought transformation, being humble, being generous, being compassionate, being forgiving, being tolerant, purifying our karma, achieving the highest state of our human potential, which is enlightenment. That is something. That is worthy. And so when we don't focus on something that is worthy becomes nothing. So our practice, our meditations, our studies, our mind transformations, our Guru devotion, our tantric practices, our commitments, the 8 verses of thought transformation, Lamrim, all that, it becomes nothing. And that's replaced by eating, food, traveling, the gym, fun, relationships. So actually, the fun, the gym, the food, the relationships are really nothing. They bring us nowhere. Does that mean we're not allowed to do them? It doesn't mean we're not allowed to do them. It means our focus shouldn't be that. It means that we can have that, but our focus should be inside. It should be inside. So therefore, we should have those outer things. But those outer things, we need to realize the truth. The truth is that they're actually nothing. There's not much meaning in those. Not much meaning for us now, not much meaning when we die, not much meaning for the bardo, not much meaning for our future lives. They affect us none for our future lives. In this life, we don't remember anything from our previous lives. We don't remember many things even 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So whatever we've done in 10, 20 years ago, we don't remember much. Similarly, 10, 20 years from now, we won't remember many things we've done now. Okay? So therefore, when we enjoy nothing, when we enjoy it, it means something that is really nothing. And we make it into something so big. It's our fantasies. It's our projections. It leads us nowhere. It leads people around us nowhere. It brings us no happiness, no fulfillment. And if we always make something into nothing, something that has value into nothing, Dharma practice, Dharma commitments, integrity, kindness, generosity, love, forgiveness. If we make those into nothing, then those are really something that becomes nothing. So therefore, the phrase there is, when we enjoy nothing made into something, then something that is worthy becomes nothing. That means when nothing becomes something, then something that has value and worth becomes nothing. Then we can lose the Dharma. We can lose our practice. We can lose our transformation. We can lose ourselves. That's the meaning.